Howdy, so I made a really long video about how the shiny hunting potentially might work in this game, but it seems like it's been mostly figured out, so I thought I'd make an update video on basically how shinies function in this game. So if we just go into ZA, I'm going to actually show you a post that was made from Centro that kind of explains some of this stuff. So he says here, here's the new shiny catching mechanic for Legends ZA, autosave. Now in this game, shiny Pokemon never despawn, which means that when you're running around in the world of this game, it doesn't matter at which point or where you are in the game, it makes no difference, right? Like if a Pokemon shiny spawns anywhere in the game at any point, whether it's literally if it's, I don't know, down in Wild Zone 1 or in the middle of the world, it doesn't matter where that shiny is. Once it has spawned, it stays there permanently, more or less, right? It basically never despawns. It doesn't matter if you die in the game, doesn't matter if you close the game, doesn't matter if the day changes, but as soon as a shiny Pokemon appears in the game world, it will stay there until you defeat it or make it fly away, which means that technically speaking, okay, you could have an entire game world, and I think somebody's gonna probably attempt to do this. You could have an entire game world that's filled with just shinies. You could have multiple shinies all around the world that are just loaded in all at the same time. But the thing though is, so naturally, how does this work, right? What he says here, so naturally, this means that thanks to autosave, the longer you play, the more shinies you can accumulate in your world. They will remain there even in initially inaccessible areas, waiting for you to come. Also, regarding wild Pokemon, the game autosaves only if you catch a Pokemon. So yes, so if you fail to catch a shiny due to it flying away, you can just reset and that same shiny will still be there. Also, another important note, spawns do change depending on if it's day or night, but the shiny will still remain there. So for example, if you see a shiny Pokemon in the day, it won't be there anymore at night, but will still be there the next morning. Now, the only way to actually force new Pokemon to spawn in is to do the following, right? Let's take, if we go up here to this place, so Wild Zone 3. All you really have to do if you want to make sure that a shiny is actually going to spawn in for you, I'm going to have to actually turn the game volume on so I can hear, because I don't want to miss out on the shiny by accident. But all you really want to do is the following, right? If you go into a zone like this, you look around for a shiny, I don't know, you just run through Wild Zone 3, see if there's a shiny that's spawned in, you listen for the shiny sound. If you don't hear the shiny sound anywhere, right, you don't see it, what you can do is either you just open the map, right, and you fly back in here, because all that's going to do is it's going to reset the spawns inside of here. However, let's hypothetically say if that Litleo up there was a shiny, if I reset the game right now, or not reset the game, but reset the zone, right, if I fly back here, that Litleo will change, and it's not going to be the same Litleo. It will have different stats, it's a new spawn. However, because that's like its default spawn, it's always kind of going to be there, right? It's always essentially going to be there, but the spawns will change. That will be a different Pokemon. However, if it was shiny, that would not be the case. See, okay, it's there, but now it's on the left side. So what you can do is you can literally run up and down here and shiny hunt this one alpha over and over again, and then eventually, if it is a shiny, right, even if you reset it, it will still remain. And that's like the main important thing is you can legitimately just reset like up and down here, or reset by just going into the map and going up and down over and over again, because a lot of people have done it. It's on Twitter. A lot of people have figured it out. And as you can see right here, it's essentially seemingly the method that's been figured out. So basically, as they say, in this game, shinies don't despawn. You can basically stack them infinitely. I've seen a lot of people like complaining about that sort of stuff. You can still fail them, obviously, as some people have noted. Like if you throw a Pokeball, you know, at a Pokemon right after a shiny flees, you're gonna autosave after that shiny has fled. So yeah, that can happen. There's still ways to fail it, essentially. Like there are still ways to fail it. It's not bulletproof, but it inherently is a much more, you know, guaranteed method of shiny hunting. It is way more likely that you're actually going to get shinies, you know, to not disappear this way. I mean, you can still fail them. Keep in mind, you can still fail them, but it does mean that all you have to do is keep loading into an area until a shiny, or just play the game. You can just run around the game and do things, and then eventually, if they do spawn, just gotta go into place. But the thing though is, the weird thing is, right? The weird thing is that they never despawn. So you could just stack up a shit ton of shinies at that point all around the map. Like realistically speaking, of course, unless it's like shinies that run away from you. So ideally what you just want to do is just go to each like zone and try to find a way to quickly like the fastest method to make the spawns that are inside of here like despawn, because regular Pokemon like these like if it's a Go-Go or Skiddo, I guess, Skiddo or whatever, they will despawn, they will disappear. That doesn't change. Like those will disappear if you like run far enough away, or if you load back in, there will be new spawns. And we did some testing on this specifically to check if it's the same. Like we literally looked to find the exact same like Litleo that's there, like the alpha one. And when we loaded back in, it was always a different one. It was never like the same, you know, it was never the same Litleo. It was always a different one with different stats and different nature and stuff. You know, it's just that specific spot right there, that is where it spawns. So it's not that like the game is like giving you the exact same Pokemon with the exact same stats that you can't reset for. You can reset for all these locations. You can just literally just fly to them over and over again until a shiny appears in them, and that's it. You could literally do this. Like this is kind of weird. You could essentially do this for every zone. Like keep hunting one zone and never catching the Pokemon inside of it to the point until the entire zone is just shinies. I mean, that's at least what this is implying, right? Like, again, I'm going based off of what's being said here by Centro, and I've seen a few other people talk about this, right? This is not the only thing I've seen about this. Like, there's been a few more mentions, specifically in regards to shiny hunting, that this is, like, the way to do it. Like, a few people have already spoken about that, and there's several tweets about it, several posts about it, like on other places about like how they're doing their shiny hunting. I think this might be a shiny hunting post as well. It's like a Japanese player, and did they find a shiny, like, what is that? A shiny, yeah, it just flew away. Boom. Literally just flew away. So yeah, you could still fail them. Obviously, you can still fail catching one. But for the most part, you now just you have guaranteed shinies that will not despawn. Like, okay, I'm somebody who, when I played through the game, I wasn't listening for shiny hunts when I played the game, right? I just kind of played it. So I didn't know if there was a shiny spawning in the background because I wasn't listening to the audio. So there might be a shiny somewhere in my game world right now that I just haven't found. But eventually, if I just run around for long enough, you could find it still. And if you failed it, you can just reset because the game autosaves, you know, all the time, right? It constantly autosaves if you do things. So essentially, this shiny hunting method is pretty straightforward. I don't think it's like much more complicated than that. I'm sorry for making this video 7 minutes. Probably could have kept it a bit shorter, but hopefully that just explains it a little bit. Again, I don't know, like I'm just going based off of what other people are saying. I'm going based off of what, you know, Centro is sharing here. And like I said, I've seen a few other people mention this as well. Like this isn't the only, you know, this is not the only mention of this that I've seen. Like I've seen a few other mentions specifically about, you know, the fact that they do not despawn. Like several people have tested it, like intently tested it to make sure that that's not the case. And I'm telling you, like based on their like discoveries, it seems like no, it just genuinely does not despawn. And I'm gonna see if I can find another post because it was another player who got the exact same results. Like another YouTuber, I think, who got the exact same results. I'm going to see if I can find exactly that post. Here it is. So here's the post I'm talking about. This is from SB Coop, who said, I found a shiny Magikarp. I changed to nighttime to make it disappear and back to daytime, and it was still there. I fast traveled away and back, and it was still there. And this is probably in Wild Zone 2. In Wild Zone 2 is where a lot of the Magikarp spawn. I would assume this is Wild Zone 2, isn't it? Like, I think you can see at the bottom here. Yeah, it's Wild Zone 2. So he did this in Wild Zone 2, which, by the way, at nighttime, I know for a fact that it's a bunch of Staryus that spawn in Wild Zone 2. So the fact that the Magikarp was still there pretty much should confirm that as well. So yeah, he says, I fast traveled away and back and it was still there. I had my character knocked out and came back and it was still there. Enjoy. So yes, basically, shinies don't despawn. If a shiny spawns, you could literally fill an entire Wild Zone with just shinies, essentially, because they're never going to despawn, unless, of course, there's a shiny that can flee, because if they can flee, then if you accidentally, like, save after they fled, then yes, you will lose them. But other than that, so long as, like, you know, you don't do anything like that, you'll be fine. But yeah, that's the video. Just want to quickly explain it. Have a great day. Bye. Have a great day. Bye. Bye. Sorry for bothering you. Sorry for wasting your time. Bye.